Shinzo Abe, Japan's prime minister, came to Florida hoping for a win. He's leaving with a draw. On the DPRK and its nuclear weapons and missiles program, Abe got resounding assurances from U.S. President Donald Trump that Washington had its back. The two remained united, he said, in their goal to have a complete and verifiable denuclearization of the Korean peninsula. Officials in Tokyo had warned Washington and others not to be swayed by what they called the DPRK's charm offensive. Trump said he wasn't.
If I think that it's a meeting that is not going to be fruitful, we're not going to go. If the meeting, when I'm there, is not fruitful, I will respectfully leave the meeting.
Trump also promised Abe that he would address the issue of Japanese nationals abducted by the DPRK in the 1970s and 80s when he meets with Kim Jong-un in late May or early June. Again, a promise the Japanese leader came wanting to hear. But Abe and Trump remain divided over the issue of trade. Abe has spent significant political capital back home pushing for a 12-nation trade agreement known as TPP, or the Trans-Pacific Partnership. It now has 11 countries. Trump pulled out of talks just 3 days into his presidency. Just days before Abe's visit, he suggested he'd be open to joining, then appeared to rule it out again. Meanwhile, Abe has faced criticism in Japan for not getting an exemption to recently introduced U.S. tariffs on steel and aluminum.
As for Section 232, Japanese steel and aluminum would not exert any negative influence on the U.S. security. Rather, it's our position that the quality of Japanese products is high.
Trump has tried to leverage the issue to push Abe towards a bilateral trade deal.
If we can come to an arrangement on a new deal between the United States and Japan, that would certainly be something we would discuss. Aluminum tariffs and steel tariffs, and I would look forward to being able to, at some point in the future, take them off.
The two leaders suggested there was a way forward to improve both economies, but acknowledged that there was a distance in their positions. Shinzo Abe also denied suggestions that he's being left out of the loop with respect to the U.S.'s approach towards the DPRK. That's despite not knowing ahead of time that Trump had accepted an invitation to meet face-to-face with Kim Jong-un, nor apparently that his host's CIA director had just returned from a trip to Pyongyang. Abe will go home to Japan to a public that's growingly skeptical of his leadership and try to convince them that he's still a relevant player abroad. Roe Ruttenberg, CGTN in West Palm Beach, Florida.